What's an issue most people with a mental health diagnosis have in common? A lot of us have a hard time staying on our meds. For people supporting us, and as someone who's supported somebody with mental illnesses, not taking our meds is one of the most frustrating things that we can do. So why? Why do we stop taking our meds? Each of us has our own reasons, and I promise I know it's not because anyone enjoys being sick. Maybe it's the side effects. Maybe they're too much. Some of the most popular antidepressants out there, here's a list of them there, they eliminate your ability to sexually climax. Not everybody, but around 33%. So having to choose between being depressed and getting off is a pretty good motivator not to take my medications. Maybe the meds are a daily reminder of all the negative bullshit that we believe. We're weak, we're broken, we're blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's the cost, availability, maybe it's our memory. The list goes on. So why does this matter then, Mr. Cynical Internet Catman? I want to try and shift our perspective on this. All right, we break our leg. What do? We get a cast. Do we think someone wearing a cast on a broken leg is weak, broken, or whatever made up nonsense we think of ourselves? No. How about when somebody gets a prosthetic and they use it? No, again, right? So why with mental health? Why do we, the people diagnosed with the mental health condition, criticize ourselves for not taking our meds? Or for taking our meds? Well, here's the big secret to that question, at least in my view. I don't think many of us fully understand ourselves why we don't take our meds or why we beat ourselves up over it. Unfortunately, our global understanding of mental health is what could be clinically described as shit. Now, that's obviously a bit of an overstatement. We're making great strides in a lot of fields each day. But in the meantime, a large problem with mental illness is when it's compared to physical injury, like a broken limb. The problem lies in the source of the illness. The source of an illness for mental health is subjective or opinionated. How does it make you feel? What gets in the way? While physical injury is objective or factual. You watch a guy get kicked in the nuts, look around and see how many other men are now shielding their nuts. What we need is a way to measure the severity of the unseen illness. How much do our symptoms get in the way of what we want to do? So let's actually compare that to a physical injury. Let's say a broken leg. A sprain, it impedes my day minimally, so I'm going to wrap it. A break, it impedes my day severely, and I'm going to cast it. An amputation, I'll learn to use my prosthetic, and it impedes my day until I learn how to use it. So, I have ADHD, but at what level? Knowing this can help me implement some sort of good intervention at that point, or helpful intervention. Forgetfulness, let's bring that one up first. On medication, this symptom is a sprain. It's mildly annoying. Quick example, I drove to McDonald's. It was 10:30 at night, and it's a 40-minute drive one way. I forgot my wallet. Annoying, not life-shattering. Off medication? This was an amputation. I was late to work 1 to 5 times a month because I couldn't find my keys, my wallet, my ID badge, whatever else I needed. I just didn't have a short-term memory. It got me put on work attendance programs. How about another one, interruption. On medication? It's not even a problem. I don't have this problem, maybe it's fantastic. I didn't even know you could not interrupt people. Off medication? This was a fracture. I developed a reputation in lots of environments that I was in. Professionally, I had a reputation of being aggressive or argumentative or assertive. Really, I was just excited to talk about whatever we're talking about. And that even came from school as well. The number of teachers who thought I was a very difficult student because of how much I liked the challenge, again, just enjoyed the challenge, but my demeanor, my tone, none of that made it come across that way. The leg example works for me. The point here really is, as someone with a mental illness, we are often pressured to know our symptoms and to know how they're impacting us very concretely. Even from people like family members, from friends, from teachers to healthcare providers. And for myself, it's difficult to put into words how I'm impacted, especially when I can't give an objective reason as to why I can't do the thing I know I'm supposed to do. And I find it's a very common struggle, regardless of your diagnosis. We're learning these things ourselves, so if you're someone out there who's supporting somebody with a mental illness, help them explore these things more. You're allowed to be annoyed with my forgetfulness, but you're not allowed to be an asshole about it. Back to meds. Some symptoms will hit us harder than others, and some we will need medication for, some we will not. Some will learn enough tools to come off their meds. Some will not. Meet the medications where you're at in your treatment. The main point that I'm trying to get to here is that the meds work for us. We don't work for them. If we decide to take our meds, if we decide not to take our meds, we make that decision based on what works best for us.